Welcome everyone. I've muted everybody. Sir, I think you have, yes, I've unmuted you. I mean, you can unmute yourself. Okay, so we have with us Dr. Ali Khwaja. I'd like to introduce him to all of you. So, Dr. Ali Khwaja, a Montessorian and engineering graduate of Institute of Science and IIT Bombay, MIE, MIIM, with a PhD in behavioral sciences. He has always carved out his own path and been a freelancer, ensuring that work is joy every day. He is invited regularly to conduct workshops or lectures for defense, central government, prestigious national institutions, schools, and colleges. But he prefers to be informal, learning while he teaches and being honest and congruent in whatever he says or does. He is the founder and chairman of Banjara Academy, a unique institution committed to improvement of quality of life. He nurtures and motivates over 300 volunteers to give free service in 10 hospitals and the Academy's own counseling centers. He conducts a very popular and practical 1 year part-time diploma in counseling skills and a 6-month certificate in life skills. He has written over 30 books and 80 booklets on all practical aspects of day-to-day life and writes regular columns and articles in many reputed publications and edits a unique newsletter. His videos on Banjara's website get thousands of viewers from all over the world. Notwithstanding all that, he loves all human beings alike, is willing to listen, and his prime focus is on empowering individuals to help themselves. Sir, it's a pleasure to have you with us this afternoon. I welcome you to and I hand over the session to you, sir.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure. And along with me, my colleague Sunita is also here. She loves children so much that the moment I said that we are having so many children in the webinar, she said, "Can I also come and see the lovely little children?" So she's also going to join us in this conversation. Let me first start off with being very clear about the fact that we as human beings, we are what we call as primates. Children, if you go out of the city and if you see monkeys, apes, gorillas, even at the zoo, you will realize that we are people who are social animals. We like to mix around with people. We always enjoy company. We always like to talk and listen and understand people. So what happens is that it is most natural for us to interact, to meet new people, to connect to people. Now, what has happened, unfortunately, for the children in the last 2 years is that this lockdown came. Okay, now schools closed down, so you have not been able to go to school and play around with your classmates and joke with them, tease them, jump around with them. Similarly, you have been restricted at home. So, what do you do? How do you make sure two things? One is that your growth, your development, and your learning should take place. And secondly, how do you ensure that you enjoy yourself and you continue to be socially active, make friends, learn from them, teach them something, play some games, which actually makes you grow up into wonderful and good human beings. So, let me tell the children and let me tell the parents that it is not the children's fault if they are getting addicted to the mobile phones, if they want to play PUBG or they want to, all the time spend their time on social media or games or something. What we need to do is to look at what are the options and alternatives within the guidelines and within the restrictions that have been imposed on us. So when a child cannot go out, do we have alternative activities by which the child can be made to see? It is very easy to be a policeman at home and to keep restricting the child. Don't do this, don't do that. The child has no option, and the child, okay, because Amma is saying, Appa is saying, and they are people in authority, I have to listen to them. So they are forcibly listening. But that's not the way a parent-child relationship should be. That is not the way that children, should be brought up or allowed to, grow. So what I want to do is, since I see so many children here, we have a chat box, right? I want you people to type into that what you feel about this thing about, when parents say don't spend time on the phone, do something different, why are you playing these games, whatever your parents are telling, and whatever you like to do, I want to see from your side. So it will be wonderful if, at least to start with, one, two, three of you type in whatever your feelings are. What do you think about whatever has been happening for the last 2 years, and all these restrictions put on you? What do you feel? How are you feeling? Firstly, and secondly, what suggestions and solutions you have to overcome this? The moment we understand that you have certain likes and dislikes, we can even persuade your parents. We can tell them that, see, this is what your child or your children want. Maybe if they are not able to understand, we are there to bridge that gap and to make them understand and get into these things. But for that, I need to know what is happening in your mind. That is very important to us. So as I speak, I am going on looking at the chat box, and I'm waiting for you people to start off with, putting in whatever you want to. Can you repeat that in Kannada?
ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಚಾಟ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಸೊ ಎಷ್ಟು ಜನ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಈ ತರ ಪ್ಯಾರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ಗೆ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ಇದೆ, ಈ ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಅದನ್ನೇ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ಪ್ಯಾರೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಓಕೆ, ಆದ್ರೆ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ, ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಕೇಳಕ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಸೊ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ನಿಮ್ ಕಡೆಯಿಂದ ನೀವ್ ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ ನೀವು ಚಾಟ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಾವು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಮುಂದೆ.
Wonderful. Let us see how many are going to actually share their thoughts. So to start off with, let me share my thoughts. I'm a strong believer that we should not tell children what not to do. We should tell children that instead of this, why don't you do that? Now, why does a child play computer games or online games or PUBG or any of these things? Because, as I mentioned in the beginning, the child is a social animal. The child wants to interact. The child wants company. The child doesn't want to be left alone. And the child wants to see something interesting. Our eyes are the greatest, organs. They convey and they, involve us more than our hearing, our smelling, our taste, and our touch. All these five senses we have. You have all been taught that we have these five senses, right? Out of all those five, the most important is the sight. You must have heard of the proverb, seeing is believing. When I see something, then only I will believe that it is true. If somebody comes and tells me, see, like this is happening, you say, is it really happening? I'm not very sure. You read somewhere in some article or something, you say, is it the truth? Or are they just trying to bluff their way through? So most of the time, the sense that really stimulates us, that gives us satisfaction, is that of the seeing, the eyes. Now, what happens is that when we are shut up in a room, when we are shut up inside the house, we do not have the opportunity to see whatever is happening. When you would go to school, you would find that there are lot of new things to see. You turn around this way, that way. Even when you are sitting in the old classroom, if you remember, you have the teacher talking something to you. But if your attention is getting a little distracted, what would you do? You would turn and look at some friend of yours. You would quietly whisper something. If there is a window, you would look outside that. Now, all that goes away when you are having online classes, when you're sitting and only staring at your phone. So what do we do to stimulate the sight of the children? we have to give them alternatives. There are so many wonderful ways in which we can find alternatives to give to the children. I'll just mention a few and let us see what the response of the children is. If you feel that, yes, this seems to be a good idea, let us try out this, let us do that. Take, for example, your locality, okay? Make a project saying that we all want to know, this is a good chance for us because we have these lockdowns and because we are restricted in movement. Let us find out little more about our locality. So if you can form a group of few children, doesn't matter whether it is 3 or 13, form a group and say that we will now explore everything that is available in the locality. For example, if somebody falls sick, what are the doctors? Where are they located? What is their timing? What is their specialization? One doctor looks after children, is called pediatrician. Another doctor is there when you have heart problems, is called a cardiologist. So can we find out which are the doctors available and what sort of service they give us? Is there a government hospital where we don't have to pay huge consultation charges and get consultation and treatment free or at a negligible price? So like that, we'll find out. Okay, doctor prescribes medicine. We have to buy the medicine. Where are the medical shops in our locality? Is there only one shop or are there 5 shops? Which are the different ones? What are their timings? Most of the medical shops close down at 9 o'clock or latest 10 o'clock in the night. We find out that there is a nursing home in which they've got a pharmacy which remains open even late in the night. So see what a great service you're doing if you start doing that. Everything like that. Where is the petrol pump if somebody wants to fill petrol? If somebody's got a cycle and it gets punctured, where is the cycle puncture repair fellow? It's so fascinating, and it is directly involving something which will be useful not only to the children but to the adults. The children can proudly say that, see, we have done this and found out. They can spend days together exploring, exchanging notes. I found out that there is one darshini over here. Somebody else says, no, I found a restaurant where there is Chinese food available. No, that is very expensive. There is another restaurant where food is available at a cheaper price. So it becomes a sort of ongoing thing. Very similar to that, you can start working on your family. Who all are there in your extended family? Do you know about your grandparents, great-grandparents? Where were you 2 generation, 3 generation back? Which is your native place? What do you know about it? If there are still some relatives living there, can we call them up and find out from them how is life there compared to how is life in Bangalore? How are they doing things over there? What is their daily routine? Who are all the people in my extended family? What do they do? I have got this uncle who works in this. I have got this auntie who is in that profession. What are the different people studying? What are the different careers? If not now, today, tomorrow, the children will have to take choices about which careers to take up. Don't wait till they come to 10th standard or 12th standard. I see so many over here who are probably in 3rd, 5th, 7th standard. All of you start doing an exercise to find out, firstly, what are all the different careers available to you. So I told you, one says, I know what is a doctor. I know what is a software engineer. I know one uncle who is a lawyer. He goes to court and he fights legal cases. I know one person who is a journalist who writes articles for the TV or newspaper. So like that, make it a group activity to find out how many careers are available to you. Just quickly repeat in Kannada. Let us.
ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ನಾವು ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಫೋನಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾಕೆ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ? ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಬೋರ್ ಆಗತ್ತಲ್ಲ. ನಾವು ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು 4 ವಾಲ್ಸ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು ತುಂಬಾ ಬೋರ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ನಾವು ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಆಪ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. ಬಟ್ ಅದು ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಬೇರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಕೇಳಿದ್ರೆ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಐಡಿಯಾಸ್ ಇದೆ. ಕೇಳ್ತೀರಾ? ಇವಾಗ ನಿಮ್ದು ಏರಿಯಾ ಇದೆ, ನಿಮ್ದು ಅಪಾರ್ಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಇದೆ, ನಿಮ್ದು ಏರಿಯಾ ಲೊಕ್ಯಾಲಿಟಿ ಇದೆ. ನಾವ್ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ, ಒಂದು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಹೌಸ್ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಕ್ಲಿನಿಕ್ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಮೆಡಿಕಲ್ ಶಾಪ್ ಇದೆಯಾ, ಈಗ ನನ್ನ ಹತ್ರ ಸೈಕಲ್ ಇದೆ, ಸೈಕಲ್ ಪಂಕ್ಚರ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಬೋದು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಪಂಕ್ಚರ್ ಶಾಪ್ ಇದೆಯಾ, ನಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪ ಬೈಕ್ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರು ಪೆಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕ್ಸ್ತಾರೆ, ಇಲ್ಲೊಂದು ಪಂಪ್ ಇದೆ, ಯಾಕೆ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಹಾಕ್ಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ, ಯಾಕೆ ಆ ಪೆಟ್ರೋಲ್ ಪಂಪ್ ಹಾಕ್ಸ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ? ಈ ತರ ನಾವು ನಮ್ ಲೊಕ್ಯಾಲಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನೇನ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವೋ ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬಹುದು. ಪ್ಲಸ್ ನಮ್ದು ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಟ್ರೀ, ನಾನು ನಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಮ್ಮ ಇದೀವಿ, ಅಪ್ಪ ನಮ್ ತಮ್ಮ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ನಾ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಊರಲ್ಲಿ ಅಜ್ಜ ಅಜ್ಜಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಆ ಊರಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಂಕಲ್ ಆಂಟಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರಿಗೊಂದು ಫೋನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೇಳೋಣ ಅವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಏನು ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಏನು ಜಾಬ್ ಏನು, ಅವ್ರು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಓದಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಸಿಟಿಯಲ್ಲಿ ಏನೇನ್ ಸಿಗತ್ತೆ, ನಮ್ಮೂರಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾವಿನಕಾಯಿ ಸಿಗತ್ತೆ, ಅವ್ರ ಊರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಸಿಗತ್ತೆ, ಆತರ ನಾವು ನಮ್ ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ತುಂಬಾ ತಿಳ್ಕೊಬಹುದು. ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ತರ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಒಂದು ಚಾರ್ಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ಫ್ಯಾಮಿಲಿ ಟ್ರೀ ಡ್ರಾ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಏನೇನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಅದ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಈ ಕಡೆ ಆ ಕಡೆ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಲ್ವಾ, ಮಿಸ್ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಬೋರ್ ಹೊಡೆದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ತರ ಮಾಡಿ ನಮ್ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ ಹತ್ರ ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡು ಇವ್ರು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದ್ರೆ ವಿಂಡೋ ಆದ್ರೆ ವಿಂಡೋ ಆಚೆ ನೋಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಒಂದು ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಿ. ಆದ್ರೆ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಈ ಡಿಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೀಗೆ ನೋಡೋದಲ್ವಾ ನಾವು ನಮ್ಮ ವಿಂಡೋನ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಮುಗಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಮತ್ತೆ ನಾವು ಹೋಗಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ವಿಂಡೋ ಒಳಗೆ ಯಾಕೆ ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಬೇರೆ ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದಲ್ಲ, ಅದನ್ನೇ ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ ಅವಿ ಸರ್.
And careers, you must start finding out all possible professions. Every day you can find out.
ಕರಿಯರ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ವಾ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಎಲ್ರು ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ ರಿಲೇಟಿವ್ಸ್, ಏನ್ ಆಗ್ತೀಯ ಪುಟ್ಟ, ಏನ್ ಆಗ್ತೀಯ ಅಂತ. ನಾವು ಒಂದೊಂದ್ಸಲನು ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ, ಲಾಯರ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂತ ಏನೋ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಆದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ ಹೇಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಡಾಕ್ಟರ್ ಆಗೋದಂದ್ರೆ ಏನ್ ಓದ್ಬೇಕು, ಅದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ಬೇಕಾ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಅಮ್ಮ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ನಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು ಅಂತ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ, ಆತರ ನಾವ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಇವಾಗ್ಲಿಂದಾನೇ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು ನಮ್ ಕರಿಯರ್ಗೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಮತ್ತೆ ಇನ್ನೊಬ್ರನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು, ಇದಕ್ಕೆ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಕೇಳ್ಬೋದು.
Similarly, once you start looking at different careers, what you do, you can change your mind later. That is not important. But once you start exploring and looking towards careers, what you can do is to start developing whatever skill is required. Sometimes I come across somebody who says, I want to become police officer, sir. Good. But do you know that a police officer has to be physically fit? Even to get selected, there will be a rigorous process. They will make you run, they'll make you jump, they'll make you crawl, they'll make you lift up weights. Are you practicing for that? Do it right now. What is the harm? Anyway, you are improving, you're building up your body, you're becoming more stronger. But if you have a desire to do that, similarly, when you say police, there are different ranks in the police. You can become a police constable. You can start from there and then start going up. If you want to straight away become an officer, you have to give an exam and become a sub-inspector of police, and then you will become inspector and ACP and all. If you want to become a Karnataka State Police Service officer or an Indian Police Service IPS officer, what is required? It is so adventurous. It is so enthralling. It absorbs the mind. Okay, keep that aside. One item we have selected. What are the other options? So other than police, what do I like to be? I also like to do this. I like to do that. These are some of the very, very simple activities which can take away a person from unnecessarily all the time sticking to the phone or the laptop or whatever it is. And it is interesting. That is the main thing. So to the parents who are watching this program, my request to you is, do not force your child all the time, sit, study, read this book or something. Even a simple thing like when you have a lesson in the book, you connect it up to real life. Any subject, any activity, anything which is going on. Supposing you are doing arithmetic or mathematics, connect it up to how you will do business, how you will do shopping. If I have 100 rupees given to me, what will I do with it? What are the different alternatives? Supposing I buy chocolate, what happens? Supposing I want ice cream, how much does it cost? So like that, if I start looking at mathematics as a means for me to, tomorrow I build up my business, I have to calculate, how much to sell a product, how much should be my profit margin, what should I do with that profit which I get? So right now, if I want to be a businessman, I will start improving my mathematics. If I want to do something like I want to be a doctor or in medical or health areas, then what do I need to do and what are the skills that are required. If I want to be into management or marketing or something, then I need to be good with people. I need to learn languages. I need to, be able to communicate with different types of people, to convince people about different things. So I am only here to give you a few examples to help you understand that there is a big world outside those 6 inches of your smartphone. There are so many wonderful activities that you can do, which are both informative, which give you, knowledge and which help you to improve your quality of life. At the same time, they are fun. They are not something which you have to push yourself or force yourself to do. You can make this whole process very, very exciting. Even a simple thing like analyzing your friends. How do you select your friends? Sit with your parents and do an activity. Instead of parents saying, why are you spending so much time with this friend, that friend? How do you select people? If you're on some social media, who all are you connecting with? Who are the friends on the Facebook or whatever? It is, instead of that, we sit and discuss what makes a good friend. Make it into a nice, interesting activity that friends means. What do I expect from my friends? What are the qualities I'm looking for? What makes me happy to have a particular type of friend? All these things go a long way in what we call as holistic development of a child. The need today is that you should have overall growth. Children at this age, what I'm seeing, 6 years, 10 years, 12 years of age, as you keep growing up and as they come to adult life, they should be able to face the world with confidence. Tomorrow, if somebody has got a desire to get into some profession, tomorrow if somebody wants to be a leader and say that I want to become this, I want to do this or that, you have to start now. If you develop those skills, a simple thing like, there are so many adults I know who have grown up, but they cannot come on the stage and give a talk. They get so scared to speak to a group of people. At this age, if you can start encouraging your child, all of you children, get your friends together, even if it is 3 or 6 of them, and say, okay, now I am going to teach something. I have read somewhere, or I've learned from somewhere, or I've watched one TV program. I want to do this. When I do that, I develop that confidence. If I can do that today when I am 8 years or 12 years old, I know that when I grow up, I can speak to 500 people also if it is necessary. So, if you start thinking on these things, I don't want to give you a long bhashan lecture or something. I just want you to understand that there is a big world. This is a wonderful chance. You are all lovely citizens of this great country called India. You have so many opportunities to do whatever you feel like doing. But if you get stuck in these simple things like, all the time playing computer games or all the time getting stuck on some social media, it is you who's going to be the loser. Once you grow up, you will not know exactly what to do. You will be left behind. And that is the only thing that we want to convey to you today, that there is an opportunity for you.
Yes, sir.
There is no profession which you cannot do. You can take up any vocation, anything, provided you start planning in advance. You start working hard. All the people who have been successful in life, they have started working well in advance towards their goals, and then they have reached, whether it is great sportsmen, whether it is great people in business or in industry, whether it is scientists or whatever it may be. So that is what has to be done. So like Mr. Pangel says, that most of the children get into device addiction due to peer pressure. Even parents also buy them device. How to educate? This is exactly what I'm saying. Get your group of friends and reverse the peer pressure. Tell them that instead of just sitting and playing PUBG or some stupid game which has got nothing to teach us and nothing to really, at that moment it may look very thrilling. Instead of that, why not take up some activity? These two, three which I mentioned, they just, are examples. If you are creative, you can think of 100 such things. Children who are addicted don't agree to talk to counselors. In that case, how to use parents as tool to reach? As long as the children are, the parents are open to talk to counselors. As long as the parents say that I am open to change within myself. See, parents who come and say, my child is getting addicted, you please counsel the child, you instruct the child, you do something, it doesn't work. I want parents to come forward who are willing to bring about a change in their approach and their attitude towards their children to ensure that they are looking in the right direction and their growth is being done. We actually have, a free counseling service which we offer offline, online, through email, through telephone. It is a free service. Anybody can avail of it. So I will take your leave. I have another commitment, but Sunita will now explain to you. She'll just give you a few more tips on whatever I've said, and she will also tell you how to get in touch with us if anytime you have any such doubts or confusion in your mind, or you want to develop something and say, I want to do something better in life. Can I get some direction how to go about it? All that we are there and available to you. Okay. So thank you very much. It's been a lovely time. And I'll see you again soon. Over to Sunita.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Yes, Sunita ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Hi, ma'am.
I'll just give a little gist of what he said in Kannada first, and then we can take it forward. ಇವಾಗ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ನಾವು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತೀವಲ್ವಾ, ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಕರಿಯರ್ ಚೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ನನ್ಗೆ ಇದಾಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅದಾಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. ಬಟ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಟೈಮ್ ಯಾವ ಕರಿಯರ್ ಚೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಈ ಏಜ್ ನೀವ್ ಇದ್ದೀರಲ್ಲ, ಈ ಏಜ್ ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲ, 3rd ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್, 5th ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್, 6th ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್, ಈ ಏಜ್ ಇಂದಾನೇ ನೀವು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಈಗ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬರೀ ಪೊಲೀಸ್ ಆಫೀಸರ್ ನಾವು ಧೈರ್ಯವಾಗಿ ಬ್ರೇವ್ ಆಗಿದ್ರೆ ಸಾಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಅ ಗುಡ್ ಫಿಟ್ ಬಾಡಿ. ಬಾಡಿ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಜಿಮ್ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ಓಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಜಂಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋ ಎಲ್ಲ ವಿಷಯನ ನಾವು ಚಿಕ್ಕ ವಯಸ್ಸಿಂದಾನೇ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಊಟ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸರ್ಸೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಈ ಟೈಮ್ ಇಂದಾನೇ ಕಂಟಿನ್ಯೂಸ್ ಆಗಿ ರೆಡಿ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಬಂದ್ರೇನೆ ನೀವು ಕರಿಯರ್ಗೆ ಆತರ ಹೋಗ್ಬೋದು. ಇವಾಗ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟೇಬಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲ, ನಾನು ಸ್ಟ್ರೇಟ್ ಆಗಿ ನಂಗೆ ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಓದ್ಬೇಕಾಗತ್ತೆ. ಈ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇರುತ್ತೆ. IAS ಆಫೀಸರ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬೇಕಾಗಿರೋದು ಓದ್ಬೇಕು. ಅದು ಓದ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಏನೇನು ನಾವು ಇವಾಗ್ಲಿಂದ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಸೊ ನಮ್ ಕರಿಯರ್ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಮುಂಚೆ ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಆಗ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ನಿಮ್ಗೊಂದು ಐಡಿಯಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಇವಾಗ್ಲಿಂದ ನಾವು ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬಹುದು ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಅದೊಂದು ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಪ್ಯಾರೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಇವಾಗ ಪ್ಯಾರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಯಾವಾಗ್ಲೂ ನಮ್ಗೊಂದು ಇದ್ದಿರತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಮಕ್ಳೇನೋ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದಾರೆ ಆನ್ಲೈನ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಆದ್ರೆ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಏನ್ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಇವಾಗ ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದೀವೋ ನಾವು ಇವಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಮಕ್ಳಿಗೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮ್ಯಾಥ್ಸ್ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ ನಮ್ಮ ರಿಯಲ್ ಲೈಫ್ ನಾವು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮ್ಯೂಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಥ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಯು. ಓಕೆ. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ಪ್ಯಾರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, ಇವಾಗ ಸ್ಕೂಲಲ್ಲಿ ಇದ್ರೆ ಟೀಚರ್ಸ್ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಲ್ ಗುಡ್. ಬಟ್ ಮನೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ನಮ್ದು ಪ್ಯಾರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ರೋಲ್ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡತ್ತೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಇವಾಗ ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಮಕ್ಳಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ನ ಹೇಗೆ ನಮ್ಮ ರಿಯಲ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಜೊತೆ ನಾವು ಅದು ಜೋಡಿಸ್ಬೋದು ಅದು ನಾವು ನೋಡ್ಬೇಕು. ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಓಕೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ನಾವು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ಗೆ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಹೇಗೆ ನಾವು ಶಾಪಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಹೇಗೆ ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಇಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಮನೆಗೆ ಏನೇನು ಖರ್ಚಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯೋ ಆ ಬಜೆಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಸೇವಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ವೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಇಷ್ಟು ಸೇವ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಮಕ್ಳಿಗೆ ನಾವು ಈ ಸಿಂಪಲ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ನಾವು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಡ್ಬೋದು ಮಕ್ಳಿಗೆ ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಆವಾಗ ಮ್ಯಾಥಮೆಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ನ ಅವ್ರು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾರೆ ಬೆಟರ್. ಆ ತರ ನಾವು ವಿ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಇನ್ಕ್ಲೂಡ್ ದೆಮ್ ಇನ್ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್. ಎಸ್. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ಅದಲ್ಲದೆ ನಾವು ಅಲಿ ಸರ್ ಹೇಳ್ದಂಗೆ ಸಮ್ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಅಡಿಕ್ಷನ್ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ತುಂಬಾ ಅವಾಗ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಲ್ಲ ಹೇಗ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡೋದು. ಮಕ್ಕಳು ಬರ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ, ಪ್ಯಾರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲಿಂಗ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ. ಪ್ಯಾರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬಂದಾಗ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಅಪ್ರೋಚ್ ಹೇಗಿರ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ, ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಇಲ್ದೆ ನಾವು ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತೀವಿ, ನಾವು ಏನ್ ಬೇಕೋ ಅದನ್ನ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅಂತ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಆ ತರ ಒಂದು ಆಟಿಟ್ಯೂಡ್ ಜೊತೆ ಪ್ಯಾರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಬಂದ್ರೆ ನಾವ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಸೊ ನಾನು ಏನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಚಾಟ್ ಬಾಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್ ಹಾಕ್ತೀನಿ, ಈಗ ನಮ್ಮ ಬಂಜಾರ ಅಕಾಡೆಮಿದು ನಂಬರ್ ಹಾಕಿರ್ತೀನಿ, ನೀವು ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಪ್ಯಾರೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಅಸ್, ಚಿಲ್ಡ್ರನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ, ಇನ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಯು ನೀಡ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲಿಂಗ್ ಖಂಡಿತವಾಗಿ ನೀವು ಕಾಂಟ್ಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಫೆಮಿಲಿಯರ್, ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಗೋ ಟು ಅವರ್ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ banjara.academy.org. ಈ ವೆಬ್ಸೈಟ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಹೋಗಿ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ತುಂಬಾ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಸರ್ ಇವಾಗ ಏನ್ ಮಾತಾಡಿದಾರೋ ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತನೂ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ. ನೀವು ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಹೋಗಿ ಓದ್ಬೋದು. ಆಡಿಯೋ ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್ ಇದೆ, ನಮ್ ಯೂಟ್ಯೂಬ್ ಚಾನಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಡಿಯೋ ವಿಡಿಯೋಸ್ ಇದೆ, ನಮ್ ಫೇಸ್ಬುಕ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಎವ್ರಿ ಸ್ಯಾಟರ್ಡೆ ಅವ್ರು ಲೈವ್ ಆಗಿ ತುಂಬಾ ಒಂದು ಡೀಟೇಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಕ್ಕಳಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಮತ್ತೆ ಜನರಲ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಎಲ್ರಿಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಅವ್ರು ಆರ್ಟಿಕಲ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ತಾರೆ, ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನೀವು ನೋಡ್ಬೋದು. ಫೋನ್ ನಂಬರ್ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ವಿ, ಫ್ರೀ ಕೌನ್ಸಿಲಿಂಗ್ ಇದೆ. Feel free to get in touch with us.
So thank you, ma'am, for Dr. Ali's time, for your time. And I have been, Dr. Ali has been speaking in my events since many years, like almost like 10 to 12 years. And best of luck to all of you.